Yeah, Mr. Abhishek.
Sir.
So tell us something about yourself.
So my name is Raguri Rama Venkat Sadasai Abhishek. I hail from Palakul, West Godavari district, and I graduated in BTech Electronics and Communication Engineering from KL University, Guntur. So later I have pursued my career in software in two different companies, and since 2018 I started preparation for government services. I entered into IBACIU. So later, after 1 year 3 months, I have resigned from the service, and I started pursuing law and started writing UPSC and APPSC. Sir.
Okay, good, interesting. So tell me something about your native district, West Godavari.
Yes, sir. Our native district, I am from Palakul, sir. Surrounding towns are Bhimavaram and Elur, Thanuku, Tadepalligudem. These are the urban areas present, sir. And our hometown especially is famous for one of the Pancharamas, Kshira Ramalingeshwar Swami temple. So along with the Bhimavaram, Samarlakota, Amaravati temples, sir. So, and especially the Palakul town is famous for coconut plantations and lace industry. And in West Godavari, after the reorganization, Bhimavaram has been the headquarters. So that's it.
Okay, fine. I understood. And why civil services examination? You are in you worked as a software engineer. You have graduated from electronics and communications, and you also have worked for intelligence bureau for quite some time. And later, you started pursuing law. So again, now why civil services?
Sir, after my graduation, sir, I entered software industry. I started working, but after nearly 4 years, I felt that I have to. I worked as a volunteer in a few volunteer organizations, sir. So slowly, I developed interest towards the and passion towards working in government service, sir, so that I can contribute more than what I am contributing as a volunteer, sir. So I started preparing for government services, sir. After entering the government service, later due to personal and both career-wise reasons, I have to resign and pursue for better service or the job which offers me broad spectrum of opportunities.
So do you mean to say that private sector, especially in the present market economy, where the market is so vibrant and the corporate sector is performing brilliantly, especially in Hyderabad, a civil servant can do more to the society than any, in an entrepreneur or, in a corporate?
So, entrepreneur will play his role, sir. In economy or in the society, every role or every member has his role to play, sir. But which I think I am fit and which suits me or which is my passion, I have to work towards it, sir. So as a software engineer also, I can contribute to the economy by paying the taxes and doing something to the society as a volunteer parallelly. But government service offers me more opportunities, sir. Broad spectrum of opportunities to directly interact with the public in the service delivery or managing the disasters, sir. So I wanted to enter such service.
Okay, I got your point. And I could see that your father also is a law professional. If I say, the profession of, legal career, it has lost its charm when it's compared to the past. So do you agree with me?
No, sir. I don't agree with the things, sir. Every profession depends upon the person who is pursuing and the interest he has, and in every profession there are great personalities, legends who have contributed to the society, sir, by pursuing it.
Then why, if it is so, your generation, especially you also, you're a son of, your father must be a popular advocate because he's from a place called Palakul. And why don't you constitute the same profession? It is highly respected, isn't it? Like if you take our own Telugu states, most of the big politicians and big social reformers, most of them are advocates. But why your generation is running after government services and running after, medical profession, or, flying away from the country? Why?
Sir, actually, there are many opportunities after the intermediate education, sir. So, what they want to pursue, depending upon the interest they are pursuing, sir. But after the technological revolution, IT revolution, I think majority of the people are getting attracted towards the service sector job market because it is providing them decent salaries and decent standard of living, and they are able to bring their social and economic status upwards, and whether it is financially or health or education, they are going to provide better opportunities for their families, sir. So they are opting it. And people are also opting for legal career as well, sir. But it depends upon the individual's interest, I feel.
Okay, I got your point. And as a big data developer, so can you explain to me what this big data analytics is in layman's terms with an illustration?
So for example, sir, if people, for example, consumers use so many kinds of products, or they have so many kinds of interests. So for example, if we go to a mall, so there will be some marketing guys or the data collection people who will ask the details about us. So what we are interested in, those kinds of things. For example, automobiles. So while if they collect the data, for example, in a area, so they are going to process that data, and based on the data, they will take the decisions what kind of products people are having the demand in that area, so that they can provide those goods with efficiency, so that they can reduce the costs, or stocking the products, which kind of products people are having the demand, so that they can earn more profits. So this technology initially started with that kind of aims. Later, the technology got expanded into every sphere, like public administration or other corporate things, or even every business sector.
I got your point. Can you explain me the idea of disaggregated data or granular data with an example, and how this can help us in better policy making?
Sir, exactly, I don't know what is the term disaggregated data, but by the wording, I can understand that that the data is not completely aggregated, or so the data can be easily processed. So with that kind of data means, because in public administration, different departments have different kinds of data, and those all can't be synchronized into a single database. So is that meant by disaggregated?
No, I'll make it more clear for you, sir. Let's say you are the district collector of West Godavari district, and you are entrusted with the responsibility of devising a health plan for West Godavari district. And what is the best way to collect data, or best way to ensure that you have data available with you, so your decision making will be much more scientific and evidence based?
Sir, in Andhra Pradesh, we have a volunteer system, sir, and we also have public health care centers, sir. So based upon that, and recently we also have the family doctor scheme, sir. We can involve everyone. We can involve data analytic professionals. We can recruit some contact based data professionals, and we can collect the data of all the public health issues, what are prevalent and what should be the solutions. The policy can be made by using all these professionals.
Okay, I got your point. So all this big data analytics, algorithms, all these things, in your opinion, so don't you think, Abhishek, these are making humans kind of slaves to technology?
Sir, I feel that technology is both boon and bane, sir. Because right from the starting, every technological revolution has contributed in both ways, sir. Even IT revolution. Initially, they thought that this would create more unemployment and this will be an issue. But later, India became the biggest job market for the IT revolution. And now, even for this artificial intelligence or big data analytics, India has that early start effects. There are many unicorns and startups coming up. And if we upskill the engineers and if we do it properly, I don't think that, and if there is enough control and regulations, I don't think that this will be a problem for humans, especially with respect to unemployment or with respect to making them slaves.
Okay, I got your point. Can you tell me what this chat GPT is? Because you're a student of electronics and communications and you also worked as a software employee. So in a layman's language, what actually is this chat GPT or BARTs or Bings, all these things?
Sir, it is artificial intelligence based search engine, sir. So earlier we have directly web-based search engines like Google, Yahoo. But this is artificial based search engine which was trained to collect the data and display it for the query we have asked. So that is more effective, sir, because it can even think of the solutions and display to us. Earlier, it just displays what the content is stored in the servers. But here the deep learning machine learning models were deployed in ChatGPT, sir, which can think of the query we have posed and can give the effective solutions better than the Google search engine earlier.
So do you think they also can give better answers than humans?
Right now, no, sir. For example, we can see that there is a news that ChatGPT failed to clear the UPSC Prelims exams. So, and there are many things and many mistakes ChatGPT is making if we pose a query, sir. So, I think that humans have better intellect and they created ChatGPT and they have more knowledge when compared to ChatGPT.
Have you heard of this term, technological singularity?
No, sir.
You want to make a try?
I can't guess, sir.
It's okay, not an issue. And as an officer, intelligence officer, I think you worked for around 1 year, and almost 15 months. You have worked as. So, what are the challenges, major challenges you have faced in the process of? I think you have completed with your training, or you resigned. You completed your training, and you also worked on the field.
Yes, sir.
For how long you worked on the field?
Almost 8 months.
You worked on the field for 8 months. Where were you deployed? Where were you posted?
Rajasthan.
Rajasthan. Which place in Rajasthan?
Barmer.
Barmer. Okay. Tell me something about that place. And also what challenges you have faced in the process of intelligence gathering. And also share with us anything exciting which has happened in your process of intelligence gathering.
Sure, sir. Barmer is a place where there are oil fields, sir. So it is a semi-arid region close to the desert, and Aishwarya oil field is very famous. Very big oil exploration companies were present in the region, sir. So there is crime associated with it as well, sir, because there is competition for oil exploration. And that's about this area, sir. In terms of intelligence collections, the challenges I faced is my work is related to counter-terrorism, sir. Intelligence collection with respect to Pakistan border. So, actually we have to live in the outpost where it is very difficult even for a human to survive. So, in such an outpost, our people are working, sir. And more details I can't reveal because it is very confidential.
You said that the outpost is very difficult to survive. Yes. Why did you say that?
Because there won't be any power or water facilities as it is a desert, sir. So, we have to walk at least 10 kilometers to get water daily. So in such situations also our department people are working, sir.
So you have to stay there, or you have to go
there?
I
have to stay there, sir.
Okay, for the purpose of intelligence gathering. Okay, tell me some recent advances in intelligence gathering, technological advances in intelligence gathering.
Sir, India always focuses more on human intellect than technological intellect, sir, because it is more effective than technological intellect. So our aim has always been developing the different kinds of techniques useful for human intelligence, sir. But we have developed technical intelligence as well. Like from satellite phones to drones and deploying different kind of electronic equipment, especially into the enemy or the threat perception given organizations. So we have been doing such kind of activities in which we can get the information, sir.
Also, tell me of some of the emerging trends in intelligence gathering. Apart from the technological advancements, what are certain emerging trends?
Sir, we have been sticking to the traditional trends, sir. There are technological developments in the sense, but the discipline has always been developed completely, sir, with respect to traditional human intelligence. The only thing here is the discretion of the officer and the capability of the officer who is posted there, sir. He has to think wise to collect the data, sir.
So there is nothing like an emerging trend.
Nothing.
Okay, I got your point. And it seems you're also simultaneously preparing for civil services examination, Abhishek. Let's say we select you, and it's highly likely that you also would appear for UPSC civil services examination. And we also wish that you clear that examination. And you will leave this service and go?
Sir,
in that case?
Sir, it depends upon the service which I get in UPSC civil services, sir. Sir, my wish has always been serving to the public and joining a profession which gives me more opportunity to serve the public, sir. Which profession has more sphere of influence? If we take a decision, it should impact the public more. So, if I get deputy collector in Group 1 services, and if I get Indian administrative service in Indian civil services, sir, I would later opt for Indian administrative service because it gives me more opportunities.
Let's say if you become Indian administrative service and you are posted in Northeast India, and you also are the deputy collector here in Andhra Pradesh, what would you prefer?
Then also I would prefer Indian administrative service, sir, because for me nation is more important, and in Northeast also there is very much scope to improve, sir. So I am ready to serve even in Northeast.
Then you should have prepared only for civil services. Why are you even appearing for state services?
Sir, before getting into civil services also, I can serve, sir, because if I stay idle, it is even loss for the nation, sir. So, depending upon my capability, I may be entering the service, and which service I would be suiting will be decided by the Public Service Commission, sir. So, I will be continuously upskilling myself, and what the commissions decide, that will be my fate, sir. I will be working towards attaining IAS.
Okay, I understood. Also, tell me 3 most important qualities a leader should possess according to you.
I think capability, honesty, integrity, team management, sir.
Why that order of priority which you have mentioned?
That is not order of priority, sir. I think every quality is important for him, sir.
So if I ask you to say one, what is that one would be for you?
Nothing of that kind, sir. But team management, I think maybe little more important. But I think that those all are the qualities or virtues every leader should possess, sir.
Okay, I got your point. And it's good to see that you have worked as a vice president and the two of an association which works for legal and social awareness. In general, why is it so that legal awareness is a bit less, especially among the Indians? The trend is same more or less the both in rural areas and also in the urban areas. Why do you think it is so?
So, the literacy rate of India is still needed to be improved. And everyone is occupied with their professions, because already many are financially weak, or even a single situation in their life can turn their family upside down, sir. For example, health emergency. So everyone is pursuing their career passionately. So they are involved in their lives. So for example, a software engineer is more involved in developing or upskilling himself, so that he can survive in the job market, sir. Because if he fails to cope up with the market, he may lose his job. So whenever there is a need arises, they are learning about the legal education, sir. So that is the thing, I think.
So you're trying to say that there is no necessity for people to have a general legal awareness. Is it what you're trying to tell me?
No, sir. They should have, sir, because it is every citizen must have the awareness about the legal education and legal provisions of the law. Because law, even if we break any law, we can't have the defense that I am not aware of it, because ignorance will not be entertained in legal profession or legal courts. So everyone should have it, but they are not having it. That's why we are working to...
I understood your point, Abhishek. Let's say tomorrow you are posted as a district collector of West Godavari district. Let's say 3 most important things you would do to promote legal awareness.
3 I'll conduct the legal camps, sir. I will conduct the workshops with the law college students available in the district, sir. For example, DNR Law College, I can mobilize those students to conduct the ground level campaigns. So, and I can also invite consumer commissioners or high court judges. For example, Andhra Pradesh State Legal Services Authority is headed by Acting Chief Justice Present Seshasai Garu, Honorable Judge. So already as a Vice President of also we have planned for a session, sir, but he was not available at that time. So I'll try to request them to conduct some legal awareness camps in the ground level areas, and I will mobilize the law college students and volunteers to create the awareness.
What are the most common types of litigations which you have observed in your district?
Common types of litigation more are with respect to civil, sir. There are property litigations between the family and marriage, divorce, adoption.
Okay, I got your point. So as as somebody who is in professional in legal domain, so how do you analyze this idea of live-in relationship?
Sir, any social issue, it depends upon the society more than just law, sir. So the thinking of the judiciary has been evolving, and it is changing with the time. For example, same-sex marriage, or maybe adultery, or even this live-in relationships, different kinds of judgments are being made by individual judges, but it will evolve with the time, sir. Although there may be a judgment pronounced, sir, but the implementation of the prejudice or the kind of outlook society has on that kind of social issue will have more weight than just the judgment, sir.
I got your point. At personal level, do you support live-in relationship?
Sir, I have an opinion that it is the freedom of the individual to decide. If he is not married, and if the 2 individuals are not married, they can enter into live-in relationships, sir. So, but I think that if there is any off-child because out of that live-in relationship, and I think they should be provided the rights. So, yes, sir.
Okay, I got your point. And can you brief me the work you have done as part of your association with this Premalayam?
Sir, actually there are many kinds of underprivileged or vulnerable people, sir. For example, beggars, children are there, sir, and blinded people, disabled, or and old age people, sir, who are in the few old age homes, who are not being treated properly. We have brought them to Premalayam, and we are providing food, shelter. We are also conducting health camps, sir. We are associating with different lab peoples or with different doctors to conduct the regular checkups, or cancer checkups, or blood tests. Or
okay, I got your point. I understood what you're trying to say. So, like, there is a lot of politicking around this voluntary system, especially these days, isn't it? Especially the last 2-3 weeks. So I believe it's a parallel institution which was developed, and it has the potential to erode the legitimacy of other institutions. What's your take on this, Abhishek?
So I think that every, whether it is voluntary sector or NGOs or
voluntary system.
Oh, volunteer system. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. So actually, it is complementing and helping the service delivery, sir, because it is acting as a link between different kinds of departments, sir. Agriculture or energy or maybe welfare. So there are welfare secretaries, agriculture secretaries, energy secretary in volunteer systems, sir. So they are coordinating with every department and they are providing services at ground level, sir.
So you don't think they are in any way trying to encroach upon the works or powers of the existing authorities? Don't you think it's a parallel system?
Sir, I don't think it is a parallel system, but it is a coordinating system between different departments. And ultimate aim of all the government machinery is to provide services, and access to the public should be more. So I think it is serving the purpose.
Okay, I got your point. So how do you assess the role of India, especially when it comes to the climate leadership at the world level?
So as a developing nation, sir, so after the Kyoto Protocol, differentiated responsibilities, common but differentiated responsibilities was proposed. And I think, sir, even though developed countries have contributed or the reason for the majority of the climate related problems now, but India being a major power, and next it is projected to be the one of the superpower in the next 150 or 200 years along with China, and we should take the responsibility and integrate such climate beneficial technologies, and especially in the energy sector or any other sector, and we should play our role, sir, because not just us, the whole planet will be under the threat if we don't take the key roles.
Got it. I got it. I'll just read out a statement for you. Try to interpret that statement for me, Abhishek.
Sure.
Okay. So, tradition is not to preserve the ashes, but to pass on the fire. I'll read the statement again. Tradition is not to preserve the ashes, but to pass on the fire. Please interpret this statement for me.
So, traditions actually are the practices which serve the purpose of that time. So, those should be passed on to as heritage, and if those traditions doesn't serve the purpose, so they should be respected. But if they doesn't serve the purpose, or if they are against the well-being of the people who are practicing, then they should be done away with.
Can you give an example?
For example, sati, sir. Initially, for that society, they think that it is serving the purpose, because after the war with other kingdom, their wives are abducted. They felt that they should practice, and initially Rajput community women, they themselves practice it without force. But later, it was imposed upon every community to practice that, and without serving any basic purpose also, they were asked even in the 18th century or 19th century to practice the customs.
I got your point. Your interview is done, Mr. Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you.